Deacon King Kong is a novel by James McBride that was published in 2020. It falls under the genre of near-historical fiction, exploring social issues within American cities. The story is set in a Brooklyn neighborhood during the autumn of 1969 and revolves around various characters. The central protagonist is an elderly black man named Cuffy Lambkin, affectionately known as Sportcoat, who resides in a housing project called the Cause Houses. Sportcoat, a former baseball coach and umpire, is an alcoholic. In a surprising turn of events, he attempts to shoot a young drug dealer named Deems Clemens, who is from the same neighborhood. Although Sportcoat had once mentored and cared for Deems during his childhood and adolescence, Deems survives the encounter but loses an ear. The shooting perplexes everyone in the cause, as Sportcoat's actions seem out of character. Throughout the narrative, Sportcoat continues to grieve for his late wife, Hetty, who passed away 2 years prior to the events of the story. Sportcoat and Hetty were active members of their local neighborhood church, Five Ends Baptist, and many of the novel's characters have ties to the church in some way. Hetty's death remains shrouded in mystery, as she presumably drowned in the nearby harbor, and her body was recovered by men associated with a local Italian mobster named Thomas Elefante. Another significant storyline in the novel centers around Elefante, often referred to as the elephant due to his last name. He inherits a smuggling business from his father and operates it under the guise of construction, trucking, and storage enterprises. One night, a mysterious Irishman known as the Governor or Driscoll Sturgis approaches Elefante, claiming to have been friends with Elefante's father. The Irishman seeks Elefante's assistance in recovering a valuable artifact that Elefante's father had hidden for him. Although Elefante is unaware of the artifact's location, his encounter with the Irishman's daughter, Melissa, leads him to develop strong feelings for her. Influenced by his newfound love, Elefante agrees to help the Irishman in his quest. The novel delves into the devastating consequences of the drug trade within the neighborhood, particularly through the character of Deems, as the drug ring he is involved in seeks retribution against Sportcoat for the shooting. The community becomes embroiled in escalating violence and conflict. The presence of hard drugs, such as heroin, has deeply affected the neighborhood, trapping young individuals in cycles of poverty, addiction, and dependency. The pervading tension and danger intensify the fears of the older residents, who witness the destructive impact of drugs on their community. Amidst this turmoil, Deems strives to climb the ranks of the drug circle, further heightening the violence and tension. Tragically, the escalating conflict leads to deaths, injuries, and threats to the entire neighborhood. In a surprising twist, the narratives of Sportcoat and Elefante intersect when it is revealed that the artifact sought by Elefante, the Venus of Willendorf, has been concealed within a brick of the Five Ends Church's back wall. This convergence of their stories brings a sense of justice and resolution to the community. Despite the obstacles imposed by society, the relationship between Sportcoat and Elefante acts as a catalyst for positive change, inspiring various characters to take charge of their lives and work towards improving their neighborhood. Deacon King Kong delves into the culture and conflicts of New York City's neighborhoods during the late 20th century, highlighting their evolution in response to crime and social changes. The novel critically examines the American dream, shedding light on the persecution and commodification of minority races by white individuals, and how rising generations in impoverished neighborhoods were hindered from realizing their full potential. Moreover, the experiences of black women in the story provide a lens to explore issues of gender, including varying degrees of freedom, self-realization, frustration, and the collective memory that drives the narrative, ultimately shedding light on the oppression faced by Black communities throughout the 20th century.